Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, well, the advantage of center, of running it between centers, is we can shift it around from lathe to lathe, and it'll still be centered without too much effort. So let's go ahead. We're going to take about 50-60 thousandths off of this. All right, we've cut our 45 here, and now we need to cut our groove in this little section right here, and we slowed the lathe way down to reduce the chatter, and it still wants to chatter. All right, so we've got our groove cut here, we've got our 45 cut there, and this time our battery's not going to go dead. Now what we want to do, we're just going to clean that off a little bit. And we're going to put our 3-jaw back in. We're going to plug it into this side here because we still have another 5 or so thousandths to cut. And then we're going to cut it to length. Well, okay, so I did a major fuck up here. Trying to reestablish that center, and it threw it off by about 10 thousandths, and that's more than I can deal with. So we're going to have to come in and reestablish my center in that one side before I get it back on the between centers and see how bad it is. So what I've done, and I'm going to swing it down, and let's have a look at this. And you know, I built this adapter for this steady rest, I don't know what, a couple months back. Up to this point, I have not needed a steady rest ever with this little lathe. And I built this adapter for this steady rest, and sure enough, we're using it. So it's, you know, it goes by the old saying, get the tool and you'll find a use for it. So what I've done is I've set this between the steady rest. First I did is I came in and put a center in the center hole, and then set the steady rest to it, and now turn it on, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but we're running at about 2 thousandths out, which is fine because remember I've still got 5 thousandths to cut on this once I heat treat it. So we've got 2 thousandths. Now what we're gonna do is go ahead, let me take this to a safe spot, bring our cutter in. We need to rotate our head around to 60 degrees, or I think in this case 30 degrees, because this lathe is set up, this angle is set up 90 degrees from the bed rather than 0. Come on. Okay, there we go. Loosening the head or the compound. There we go. Rotate this around to 30 degrees. And interestingly enough, with this lathe, all the degrees are over here, so I got to walk around the other side of the lathe to figure out what I've got. And we are sitting at 50. So it's not going to be that. It's going to be 60 degrees. And there's 60 right there. Tighten the compound up. And that looks pretty good. Now we need to come in with a very, very pointy bit. And I'm going to have to go find one. Oh, what the hell. I'll be back. Look for it with me. And I remember having a very pointy bit in here somewhere. And oh, look at this. We might have something right there. Nope, not quite enough. I mean, I can always grind one, but I remember one being in here. That could be ground to work. We'll set that aside just in case. What do we got here? That could be ground to work. Aha! There we go. You see it? So it's got a huge rake underneath it. And it's sharp. So let's go back over there and see what we got. Well, that bit isn't going to work, so we're going to come up with another one here. I did a little searching. I'll have to take the head off. And we've got a really small boring tool here that I think is going to work a lot better. Right, yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to get us. Yeah. Now, maybe I have to do just a little bit of cutting. A little undercutting. Okay, let me take this over and trim it out a little bit and we'll be back. All right, we're ready to rip here. You can see how far out that is. There we go. Let's get this going a little faster. Alright, the back side of this is hitting, so we need to take it back out and grind the back side a little bit. Okay, so I just ground that back side a little bit, knocked that edge off. Hopefully that's going to be enough. If not, we can go back and do it again. All right, let's give it a try. There we go. Done deal. And I don't think we wore away too much of our surface out on the outside. Let's see what we got. Okay. Okay, proof is in the pudding. Let's blow that out. Nice and straight. Do a quick rundown. Within a thou, and I'd say that's plenty. Okay, now back to normal business here. Back that up, back this up. We're going to take it back over to the mill, or to the lathe. Okay, we've got it set between centers, and let's turn it on, see what we got. Ready? I'm seeing 1,000ths. Maybe a thou and a half. That's not too bad. Okay, so now I would like to come back and regrind this, but I think we're down pretty close. Let's see what we've got. Half of my job is chasing down tools that I left laying around. So, we're sitting at 5, 0.08. And we need to go to 5. 5 even. So we have 8 thousandths to take off. And I'm gonna just let this rest for the moment, because I do want to take the next cut, get it down to about 4 thousandths, and but I've got a finer wheel coming. This one's fairly coarse. It's 60 grit, and I got 150 grit coming. And I want to test that and see if I can get a nice finish, nicer finish. Okay, so we're just going to put this aside for now and do other projects. Okay, as it goes, it seems, and I'm just learning this, that when the lathe is warmed up, and it was a fairly warm day the other day, and the lathe had been running for an hour or so, it changes. So now that the lathe's all cooled off, my setting here is about 2 thousandths off from one end to the other. So what we need to do is come back in now that the lathe is cold or cool, reset my tailstock, and unfortunately we've got about 5 thousandths to take off of here to get us where we want to go. So it's going to be a bit of a not a battle, but certainly an effort to get this thing right within a couple of thousandths. And let's bring this back. Oops, we got to put a dog on there. Now I know that this point, since we only have a couple of thousandths to play with, I'm going to we're at 6 8/10. And here we're at 5. So almost 2 thousandths taper from here to here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the indicator on this and bring this back. It's 2 thousandths bigger. Yes. So we're going to bring it this way by 1 thousandths. Getting it in as close as we can. Oops, we really need to be right there. So let's back this thing up as far as we can get it. Okay. Ouch. Okay, we're going 1 thousandths toward us. Okay, let's give that a try. Alright, well, we're drilling our hole here, and I could have done this earlier and not had to take these extra 5 steps, but I didn't, so, and we're drilling it at 27/64, so we can come in and thread it at a 1/2 inch. And we're taking it in almost an inch. Alright, there's a full inch just for safety's sake. Let me go put my drill bit away. And I really don't want to torque on this any more than necessary, so I'm going to do this by hand. We'll put a follower in. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's there. Get a little go juice on this. And crescent wrench will do the trick for them. Whoops, it spun. Okay, so we're going to take it out and put it in a vise and go from there. Okay, so we've drilled and tapped that hole. Now we need to come back in and reestablish our 60 degrees. So that's going to be right here, someplace. I guess we need to tighten that up. And let's speed this up. All right, that should give us what we want. Decent shoulder. Okay, over to the mill, cut that slot, and we're set to go.